If you're looking to enhance your athletic performance or just get in a little bit better shape, look no further than Forza Sports. Forza Sports has everything you need for men, women, and children to take their training to the next level. From football to tennis, baseball to running, even hunting and paintball, Forza Sports can check off all the boxes. And of course, for the aspiring combat sports athlete, Forza Sports is your one-stop shop for punching bags, including aqua training bags, boxing and MMA gloves, headgear, gis, and much more, all at competitive prices. To save even more money, sign up for savings and get the latest deals at forzasports.com. Forza Sports has been serving the athletic community and more for over a decade and look forward to serving you for generations to come. Get the best gear in sports right now at forzasports.com.
All right, fight fans, joining me on the line is a man who needs absolutely no introduction. He is a UFC Hall of Famer and former light heavyweight champion of the world. I'm speaking with none other than the Huntington Beach bad boy himself, Tito Ortiz. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
All right. First and foremost, Tito, I want to thank you for taking time to speak with me today. It's an honor and a privilege to speak with somebody with a legacy such as yours in the sport of mixed martial arts. Now, before we get into your upcoming fight, I've got to ask a question, and it's something that I've always wondered. As we record this interview here today, I'm 38 years old. If my math is correct, you're 44. I remember sitting in high school when you were first getting into the UFC, and everybody in the room was buzzing about this guy, Tito Ortiz. Now, here we are more than 20 years later, and you're still competing. You're still in tremendous shape. We've seen fighters enter the sport after you, yet they leave before you. What keeps you going, Tito Ortiz going, and how are you able to keep fighting at the pace that you're fighting after all these years?
Well, I think it all goes back to where I started. As an amateur wrestler in high school and in college, I was an amateur when I started UFC 13, May 30th, 1997. I never fought ever before then. And a year and a half later, I became the world champion through hard work and dedication. But I was still learning, and I was always still learning, So by the fifth, sixth year after defending my world title as many times as I did, I was still an amateur learning, but winning world titles. But it just shows with the hard work and dedication. Now let's fast forward this, could do the right things to prepare for a fight. Each one of my last two camps have been over 18 weeks. And I think it's just showing the hard work and dedication of it, of perform at the highest level I possibly can, and just having the mindset of it. I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to dedicate. I'm willing to have the consistency in my camps. And I love what I do. I love being in great shape. I love being in fight shape. I love entertaining my fans. I love showing my kids what hard work and dedication is. And I'm very, very fortunate to be where I am today. After all the surgeries I've had, to be able to bounce back from those surgeries, I just want to show the proofs in the pudding of hard work through dedication. These things are here because of what I can believe myself in doing. Just having the mental positive reinforcements in my mind that I can push myself through these limits and push myself through these camps and training sessions. That anything's possible, man. Anything is possible. You just you're only limited to yourself. You limit yourself by the things you can do. But if you surpass those limits by showing in hard work and dedication with consistency and just repetition, you can achieve anything. And I'm doing that. I'm living proof the American dream, man. I'm very, very fortunate to be where I am today.
So December 7th, you've got a big fight coming up. You're taking on El Patron, Alberto Rodriguez, for Combate Americas. How's everything going preparation-wise for this fight?
Man, I couldn't complain. Everything has been great. I'm glad I started my camp super early, but that's just how serious I take in this fight against Alberto. He's a bigger guy. He's a little bigger than me, about 6'4", I think. I gave him an extra 5-pound advantage of the weight of 210. I normally make 205 pounds, light heavyweight division, since I've been this beginning of my career. But I put in, like I say, a camp like I did my last one against Chuck Liddell, and the fight only lasted 4.5 minutes. So I kind of expect the same thing for this one, of getting my hand raised in a quick amount of time. But I just got to push the pace, I got to put him in the red zone from as soon as that bell starts until the last round. I just got to push the pace and and make us feel the pressure of Tito Ortiz. I'm thankful once again of just my sparring partners, my trainers, and just having the will to get up every day and put in these 6-hour days, 6 days a week.
So several news outlets recently reported that Alberto was training with a former foe of yours, Ryan Bader. Now, you fought Ryan. It was about 8 years ago. You got the win. But obviously today he's a completely different fighter. He's holding titles in 2 different divisions for Bellator. Does Alberto training with Bader give any cause of concern for you at all?
I would say a little bit concerned, but not anything that's definite that makes you go, oh no, he's training with Ryan Bader. People can understand, I beat Ryan Bader, and I wasn't at my best. I'm at my best now. Now I'm better than I was when I beat him in 2011. I'm 10 times better than I was in 2011. Just my mindset, the people that are around me, the positive reinforcements I have around me, my body reaction, no pain, no neck pain, no back pain, no knee pains. But it makes me a little concerned because Alberto Del Rio is just not training with some wrestler guys. He's training with world champions. So that brings another side of the story that this guy is taking it serious. He moved away from San Antonio, where he's from, to Arizona. He's taking his fight very, very, very seriously. He's not just going to lay down. And I expect that from him, man. Him being a fellow Latino himself, that he takes a fight seriously. And he's doing it with this fight. He's taking it very, very seriously.
So Alberto's last fight was 9 years ago. Is he making a mistake by trying to make a comeback and taking on a guy such as Tito Ortiz, a guy with so much experience as in a skill set that you have in his first fight back? Is he making a mistake?
I think he's making a mistake, but with a big chance gives a big reward for him in his mind. I think and he's willing to sacrifice that to get a big reward. But I think he did bite off a little more than he could chew. But we're beyond that now. I'm finishing my last week of training now, this week, and next week it's already too late. No more talking. It's time to take care of business, step in the cage, and may the best man win. And I know it's going to be me. I just got to be smart. I got to fight intelligently. I got to fight at my pace, and I got to put the fight to him and put him in the water he's never been in before.
And not that you're looking past Alberto next weekend, but you said that you told Ariel Helwani that you have 2 fights signed with Combate. You have a 2-fight deal. In the past week or so, there's been some talk about you possibly fighting former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez. You said you like that for Combate. Do you think that's a fight that could happen in 2020?
I think it's a fight that could happen. I'm in for it. He comes down to my weight class to 205. I'm down. He's normally a lighter heavyweight. He's always been the faster guy, the guy with the cardio king, and a guy that I respect hugely. And I think he would just bring a lot to Combate. It would bring a lot to both of our brands. Cain Velasquez is doing an amazing job in WWE, but at heart, I know he's a fighter, and he's a great champion. So I think that would be huge names of Velasquez versus Ortiz. I think the MMA community would love it.
So lastly, before I let you go, ESPN recently aired the 30 for 30 special on the rivalry between you and Chuck. First, how accurately do you think it depicted your story or portrayed you? And secondly, what did it mean for you personally to get that win over Chuck?
I think I go first and foremost is getting the win over Chuck was everything. There's all kinds of people who were Chuck Liddell fans that became haters and saying, "Oh, that was Chuck. That was even the real Chuck." And what's the real Chuck? What's the real Tito? It's we are close in age. It's just I took care of myself and he didn't. He didn't take care of himself. He thought he'd come in, and once again, he was the guy who called me out to fight. He's the one that said he was going to clown me in front of millions of people. He was going to knock me out in the first round, and Chuck Liddell was doing the Chuck Liddell, except UFC didn't have his back. Dana didn't have his back. He was alone. He finally got to feel what it was like to fight alone, and I had my opportunity to train as hard as I possibly could. I put in an 18-week camp, and to get my hand raised was everything. I made shit on money for the fight, so it wasn't about the money. And in the very beginning, when we first fought, it was about the money, and we got taken advantage of. The second time we fought, it was about the money, and we got taken advantage of. Then all of a sudden Chuck Liddell didn't have a job through the UFC, and he had to fight to pay his bills. And I had to fight to pay my bills. And Oscar De La Hoya gave us the opportunity. I'm thankful for that. But, the story that was told in the 30 for 30 wasn't an honest story. It was construed. It was told on one-sided. It was Dana, the UFC, and Chuck against me. And that's how it's always been. They're always afraid to tell the truth because they don't want to let the fans and the fighters know what's truly going on, of how fighters are being taken advantage of. And Chuck Liddell, in that 30 for 30, said many times, but it was never shown, of how he really felt and how he was really treated. And like I say, it went through 19 edits before it really got released, and Dana had a lot to do with that. And it just makes me shake my head because these guys make billions of dollars, and us fighters, we're still fighting to pay our bills. And I do it, of course, for an entertainment value. I do it because I love to be in shape. But guys like Chuck, who've been through the grinder, and his physical being is in jeopardy because of it. And now he's still got to pay for his family. He's still got to take care of his kids, and he's doing that, and he's trying to do it by fighting, and it's not the right way to do it. I wish we would have made tens of millions of dollars when we fought each other, so we didn't have to worry about that 10 years from then. Where we're sitting right now, where we still got to worry about bills. I like to live a comfortable lifestyle. I know Chuck likes to live a comfortable lifestyle, but when UFC sold for $4.5 billion, they weren't signing a thank you check off to me or Chuck, and it's kind of sad. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. I made my decisions of where my career has gone and what I'm doing now. And ESPN did a job as they were great as they possibly capable to do, with Dana always having the final say of how it's going to be edited and cut. And I think fans got the overall understanding of where I stood in the UFC. Me and Chuck were the ones who put UFC where they are today. And they didn't highlight any of my championship fights. They just highlighted me as a champion, and all of a sudden, boom, they lost Chuck. And Chuck as being, one of the greatest champions ever, who only had 4 title defenses, me having 5 title defenses. But it was just one of those things, man. It's when it's one-sided like that, I'm going to be devil's advocate at the same time and say I'm just thankful that they actually even put it out. I could also say on the opposite hand of, they didn't put it in a great limelight for me, but they showed the hard work and dedication. They showed all the trials and tribulations that I've had through my career, and I'm still here. I'm still relevant. I'm still doing things I love to do, and that's compete and make great money at doing it. So I'm very, very thankful for my fans. If it wasn't for my fans, I wouldn't be where I am today. I would just be another fighter. It was for Tito Ortiz fans.
Speaking of doing things that you love, one thing that I love about you is, as a Marine Corps veteran myself, I always see the stuff that you're doing for the military. Is there anything that you're working on? I know you've got fight camp right now, but is there anything that you're working on? Any kind of projects or anything with the military?
Well, I'm kind of just waiting for this fight to get over with. One of my friends is actually on 7th Group down in Florida. They just got back. What was it? I think it was on the end of last month, kind of bagging Baghdadi. I got a call as soon as they landed in the States from that, and he's like, all right, I'm back home. I go, what do you mean you're back home? He goes, that was a quick one. We found him quick. I go, found who? He goes, you see it on television, didn't you? Acknowledging that they just killed Baghdadi. I was like, holy moly. I go, really? He goes, yep. I go, those guys didn't even have a chance. They didn't even realize who they're messing with. But it was just one of those things that as soon as this fight's over, I'll go out and visit them. I'm going to go fishing, and that's just one of the things. I just try to be very, very thankful to each one of our troops of sacrificing the time away from their families, sacrificing their life sometimes, knowing that civilians as myself respect and are very, very thankful for them serving for our country. Man, we live in a great country. And a lot of Americans need to recognize that and be thankful for our troops, be thankful for our president, because we're just becoming on the up and up, and our country's getting better and better every year.
Absolutely. All right, Tito, that's going to wrap it up for us. I cannot thank you enough for joining us today. Combate Americas goes down Saturday, December 7th from the Payne Arena in Hidalgo, Texas. The main event is the man we just spoke with, Tito Ortiz, taking on former WWE star Alberto Del Rio, also known as Alberto Rodriguez. Tito, thanks again and best wishes with the fight.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it very much. And all fans, make sure you tune in. December 7th, live on pay-per-view. Call your local pay-per-view provider. This fight is going to be amazing. We're going to have a good Christmas present for my boys as I get that World Championship belt from Alberto Del Rio and put it around their shoulder.